What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and today we're going to be going through some new surprises for Black Ops 6, a big controversial change, and even more details about the single-player campaign. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, drop a like, and as a big reminder, we got plenty of brand new article coverage going up on detonated.com for those who want to stay up to date with all things Call of Duty. Now, on around October 14th, a big new feature is coming to the website, which I couldn't be more excited to share additional information about. Then a second, more zombie-focused feature is going to be dropping on the site closer to the launch window of Black Ops 6. But a few days ago, a new short did go out on the Call of Duty YouTube channel, which was all focused on Adler, and they did mention he has a documented history of sociopathic behavior. At time of recording this, we only have one short that's like this. I'm expecting maybe a couple other ones that are also character focused, featuring some additional bios and other clips of footage from the Black Ops 6 campaign. It was cool to see this one though. Now, a few days ago when they revealed the campaign rewards for Black Ops 6, I made a video pretty quickly right after that info got revealed, and within about half an hour of that upload, some changes did happen to that campaign marketing. So for whatever reason, the intel drop about the campaign did get taken down, but was later re-uploaded. I'm not sure what exactly changed with the edit. It was probably a minor production error or something, and they wanted to make sure the proper version did get uploaded. If you guys notice any differences between the original and the new upload, let me know down below in the comments. But the blog post about the campaign, it was labeled part 2 to the story so far, that also got some changes since the graphics showing all the rewards also got swapped out for an up-to-date and correct one. I think the shotgun reward was incorrectly labeled as a pistol previously, so that's all that I was able to notice in regards to changes, along with I think the name of the finishing move, which was also wrong when the blog first dropped, but no big deal. Just wanted to answer that real quick for those out there that were confused on why that may have happened. But something I didn't go into too much detail about in that original video was that it gives us a list of all the campaign missions for Black Ops 6. Now, I don't believe this is every single mission, but quite simply just the missions that do give you rewards. Now, unless there's a typo with that as well, it looks like one of the missions they showed us gameplay of called Emergence, which I'm going to circle back to in a few minutes. That mission may not provide us with any type of cosmetic, but a lot of the other missions do. I don't believe there's going to be just 8 campaign missions in BO6. I mean, that can't be the case since the Emergence mission was shown in the same intel drop when this blog came out. But it does look like you get most of the rewards just by finishing each of the missions. On top of some XP bonuses, there are also some blueprints that you can't unlock unless you complete a puzzle within the Safehouse. I want to talk more about the Safehouse later in this video, but some folks out there did mention that the exact weapons you get blueprints for within the campaign are the same weapons that we got Mastercrafts for within the Vault Edition of Black Ops 6. This is a pretty important point, considering it was confirmed that since we're going back to a classic prestige system, you won't actually lose access to a certain weapon if you have a blueprint or cosmetic for that weapon, which includes Mastercraft. So I think it was purposely done to where you're getting skins for the same weapons that you'll also get Mastercrafts for with the Vault Edition. However, if you do get the Vault Edition, I can understand why you're like, well, I'm probably not going to use those blueprints since I have some better versions, which are Mastercrafts, that I got for the $100 edition. But on top of that, looking at this mission list that we have for Black Ops 6, it looks like when it comes to the campaign, we're going to be seeing at least 8 missions, but when you count Emergence, that's about 9. I'm going to guess right now we're probably going to see a total of like 10 to 11 missions tops. I think that was the original leak anyway several months ago, but we'll learn more about the official list in the coming days, I'm sure. But with the mission Emergence that we got plenty of gameplay of, this is that trippy looking break on through type sequel that I think we also got a glimpse of in the recent global launch trailer. Unless it's a separate mission entirely, this mission looks insane. So we got somebody holding a hatchet, you see a bunch of test dummies everywhere, and you can also see what looks like the tail of an abomination, and you can see a big ID card around his neck. But then something that we were all really excited to see is the grapple hook prototype. This was awesome, and I'm hoping that we can see a grapple hook prototype in maybe the next iteration of Outbreak that Treyarch eventually makes. But if we can get something like this maybe in Warzone this year, that would also be great, because we had one over in Blackout, we saw one in Outbreak from Cold War Zombies. Really happy to see the grapple hook return into the Black Ops universe. But I think it's also cool that we're going to be seeing a little bit of zombies inside of the campaign, since we also got that in Break On Through several years ago. If you went down a certain path during that mission, you would end up in a cave where a bunch of zombies would just swarm you. I think you had to die on purpose to progress even further, but either way, really cool to see that they are planning some really unique missions for the single player. But shout out to Killer Stidge, who also pointed out that there's a document within some of this footage that confirms a super soldier will be present in the Black Ops 6 campaign. I know that sounds crazy, but that's likely something we're going to end up seeing in this Emergence mission, is a super soldier soldier actually this creepy looking boss that we saw in the initial launch trailer for BO6. This mangler, or what appears to be a mangler as we got in Modern Warfare Zombies, is this a mangler with his mask off? Is this the super soldier? And is this also a boss we may end up facing over in round base later? Who knows? But we also get to see a creepy safe house looking container, a scale model town of a castle, or what could be the Kremlin. Maybe this is also an area that's going to be within this Emergence mission. And I'm also really curious about the test dummies that we see that seem pretty possessed and will be actually interfering and will be actually attacking us within the campaign. I mean, test dummies are definitely going to play a role in the Nuketown Remastered map, Area 99, but really curious to see what type of trippy elements we get with the test dummies here within the campaign. And it's maybe a slept on mode until folks really give it a chance, considering there isn't any type of early access opportunity. So many folks are going to be impatient and are going to want to jump right into multiplayer and zombies off the rip, which I totally understand, especially if you're a content creator that focuses on a certain mode. But just remember, right, multiplayer is not going anywhere, neither is zombies. Make sure you guys get in some campaign time before season 1 comes out at least. Then things are going to get real crazy with another zombie map and even the Warzone integration. But something that also hasn't been talked about all that much and may have even been misinterpreted is the portion of the blog where they mentioned to check your vitals. They said keep your operator in fighting shape by watching the health and armor meters on your HUD. If your health bar depletes all the way, your operator goes down for the count, as in every Call of Duty campaign, right? But it says seek out armor pieces in the environment to bulk up your defenses. Some folks out there have said that this may be confirming you need to actually play up in order to regen health, and you actually won't regen otherwise. I don't think that's what it means. I think we will have automatic health regen in the campaign, but in order to ensure that you have better chances of getting through that tough mission, you're going to want to find armor around the environment. I know folks out there are going to say, oh, well, Warzone infested the campaign. It's already infested multiplayer and even zombies as far as mechanics go. So people out there are probably not going to like that armor is included in the campaign. I don't really mind it. I know I'm going to be called a shill for it, but if you're able to play up in any game mode which can help you in tougher situations, then that's fine. I could totally get the frustration though if you can only regen health by finding plates. That'll be really difficult on some of the harder difficulties of the campaign, but I don't think that's how it works anyway. I know we had a mechanic like that in World War II 2017 before the Warzone era, but I think people out there are probably jumping the gun on this part of the blog post, but I guess time will tell once the game does officially drop. Now, what's also really exciting from the intel drop is it was confirmed that we have to look for cache around the environments in various campaign missions to then upgrade the safe house. As you upgrade the safe house, it will allow us to enhance a lot of our equipment and backpack loot, which is going to be really helpful throughout every single level. Now, they didn't go into too much detail about this, but I feel like we'll get a separate blog eventually that gives us more info. They mentioned as the safe house evolves, gain additional customization options to fine-tune your operator for the very next mission. So although there aren't any loadouts in the campaign, you can still at least enhance what I guess you find around the environments in each mission, or at least what can be in your backpack. So I guess as far as a loadout goes, you can stash backpack items that you've upgraded. You just can't select your primary, your secondary, or other pieces of equipment like that. But things that are in your backpack that we saw some gameplay of in the campaign showcase from Gamescom, it looks like upgrades come down to what you saw right there, just nothing beyond that. But again, we haven't played the campaign yet, so we're kind of just making assumptions based on the information that we have provided. Now, several months ago, I think it was early during the summer, I actually got sent a really cool package featuring blueprints of this safe house, which apparently was actually functioning as a KGB black site in like the 50s and 60s. I think it's also worth pointing out that Payback, an upcoming multiplayer map at launch, is also based out of the safe house. We got a shot of Woods seemingly defending himself against some intruders, so I think there's gonna be a lot of things going on with the safe house throughout the campaign, not only in between each mission, probably even towards the end of the campaign, as maybe our location gets revealed to some enemies and things are about to get wild. But I'm really excited to explore all the secrets this safe house may have to offer, because they put a big emphasis on how much bigger this safe house is compared to the one we had in Cold War, and that can't be for nothing. But the last thing I'll end with is that Raven seems really proud of the work they did here on the Black Ops 6 campaign. So I'm going to ask you guys again, if you can find the time, if you guys are deep into multiplayer or deep into zombies, before Season 1, if possible, find the weekend, find a good 5-6 hours, or even split this up amongst multiple days, and jump into that campaign. It's probably going to be a very slept on experience that I believe believe it is going to be worth a shot. It's going to be a very leveled up experience, no pun intended, from the Cold War campaign, and that single player was already pretty great, but with more dev time that went into Black Ops 6, I can't even imagine what they've accomplished here with this new story. And on top of that, right, they specifically mentioned replayability inside of the intel drop. They mentioned that what you experience in a certain level could be different from what your friend did, and that can go for any campaign. I'm totally aware of that, but with the way that we're probably gonna have a linear narrative with this campaign compared to games like BO2 or Cold War, I still think it'll be fun to see how people can get to the same outcome just a little bit differently using the new mechanics and all new surprises that they've laid in store for us. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave our thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on the brand new surprises that we got to see here for the Black Ops 6 campaign? How are you feeling about what could be a big controversial change with the armor plating and health regen? Plus, how are you feeling about the brand new Emergence mission? Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.